whatever version of this.
Welcome back to the Queen's Yanks channel. Thank you all so much for coming back and checking out the Queen's Brûlant. Before we get into today's show, I do want to point out that although the video was recorded before this one, it will come out after this one. But we as a channel are going to be doing a giveaway, and more information from that will be coming up in the next video that I post probably on Wednesday. So stay tuned for that and keep on the lookout for that. And all you have to do to be eligible to win our giveaway is just be a subscriber. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you do hit subscribe and pay attention to the next video. You might, I'm sure if you're obviously if you're subscribed to this channel, you're a soccer/football fan, so I think you'll like the giveaway. Now, that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into our Canadian Premier League predictions. Last week there were a lot of games, and I knew some wacky things might happen. As a whole, I went 3 wins, 2 draws, and 3 losses, which I'll take it considering how many games there were. It was a little hard to predict, which brings our running total to a total of 27 games, and we've only outright picked 6 wrong. So that's a better winning percentage than Greg Berhalter at any level before he got to the USA job. So I'll take it. So this week we've got 4 games to look forward to. Since there is only 4, I'm going to go say a little bit more about each game as we get to it. But let's go ahead and get right into it. So on October 20th, which will be Wednesday, we've got Atletico Ottawa at home against Valor. And the last 3 times these teams have played, Valor has outscored them 6-2. So Valor has showed that they can put up points against Atletico pretty easy. Both teams are very unpredictable. I always describe Ottawa as the thorn in team sides. They can go off at any second. And they can look like, one game they can look like Forge, the next game they can look like the worst team in the league. Valor, on the other hand, is absolutely streaky as well. They got off to one of the hottest starts you'll ever see in the Canadian Premier League, and then they completely laid a goose egg for, essentially the past 2 months. But they kind of getting a little bit more in the right direction, and they have a little bit more to fight for than Atletico. I do think William Atiko, if I'm saying that right, I've enjoyed watching him play the past few weeks. I think he's a very hard. He's just he has a motor in him just like that. I think he might step up in this game like I've seen him seemingly step up the past few weeks. I think Valor is going to win this game, so much so that of the 4 games, this is my Brûlant lock of the week. So our next game takes us to October 21st, which is the next day on Thursday, where we have Cavalry taking on Pacific. And Pacific SC have their last win, like outright win. They've got some draws in between, but their last outright win was way back on September 9th. So they're in search for a win, and there's only 1 point differential between these 2 teams in the standings, and the team below them is Forge, which they have a couple of games in hand. So whoever wins this game is going to be in first place, unless it ends in a draw, and we don't pick draws on this channel. So, I think this is going to be a close game, and it may even come down to which goalkeeper plays better, because both goalkeepers are playing very well in terms of the statistics. It's a home game for the Cavs, but at the same time, it's not like Vancouver is that far away from Calgary. So I'm going to go with Pacific winning this game, although I'm not that confident in it. But I think this is going to be a heck of a game to watch. So then a couple of days later, on October 23rd, which is Saturday, we have Halifax at home against Forge. And this is another great game to watch, in my opinion. Halifax has been absolutely amazing at home, and the crowd, especially on a weekend, is going to be probably completely packed as much as they allow them to be. Both teams are in desperate need of points here. Both teams are fighting for those 4 spots. Halifax, surprisingly, and people probably, I don't know if you would realize this or not, but Halifax actually leads the all-time series, I believe, by 1 game. I believe they have 1 more win than Forge does overall. So, I think Forge is the better team, but Halifax at home has just looked amazing, and I think they're going to pull this out somehow, some way. I don't know how, but I think they are, and I think there's going to be points put up in this game. It wouldn't surprise me if this ended in a 3-2 win or maybe even a 2-1 win for Halifax, but I'm going with the Wanderers in this game. So then, our last game of the week is Sunday the 24th, which is going to feature Atletico Ottawa against York United. You know, York is in desperate need for points. They only have 3 points total in the last 4 games. Atletico does have a game just a few days before, so a question mark for this for me is how tired is Atletico going to be for this game? And then low-key, York has actually slowly become the second highest scoring team in the league as I record this video. So with York being desperate for points and being able to put up a lot of points, a lot of goals on the board, and with Atletico being so prone to giving up goals, I think York is going to win this one. You know, like I mentioned earlier in the Atletico game, they could be a thorn in people's side. You never know which Atletico team you're going to get. They could easily, you know, they can go on a run and win a game 3-1, but at the same time, they could lose 4-0. So I hate to pick against Atletico 2 times in 1 week, especially since my significant other is from Ottawa, but I have to do it just because I feel like the matchups aren't there for Ottawa at this point, because the 2 teams they're playing are in desperate need of points. They're fighting for those spots in the playoffs, and you know, at this point Atletico is just playing for pride. So I've got York knocking off Atletico at home for the 2nd straight loss of this week for Atletico. So that said, that is our video today. Luckily there was over double this many games last video, so hopefully we'll do a little bit better this week, although I'll definitely take what happened last week. Let me know your thoughts below on what you thought of my picks. Anybody you're on the lookout for, let me know. And like I said, stay tuned for the next video because you might be interested in a giveaway. Everybody have a great week, stay safe out there, and peace out, guys.